Start with one thing. Start with one thing when it comes to changing your life and changing your lifestyle and getting fitter and getting happier and being more confident. All of those things. When you're starting out with improving your lifestyle so that it's healthier, so that you feel better, do me a favor and instead of attacking everything at once, instead of taking the all or nothing approach that most people do, whereby they change absolutely everything in their nutrition. They're going hell for leather and they're now doing exercise 7 days a week. They're drinking 16 litres of water. Note, don't drink 16 litres of water a day. They're doing all of the things, but they're doing them all at the same time. You go from a Sunday where you're potentially feeling like, oh God, Monday tomorrow, and okay, this week is going to be the week. And then you overhaul absolutely everything from that Monday morning or whenever it is that you start. Everything gets changed. Your life is totally different in the space of less than 24 hours. And what happens every single time, I can pretty much guarantee, is that it doesn't stick. Okay? Because you've overhauled too many things. You've taken the all or nothing approach, whereby it is unsustainable from the minute you start. You're taking all or nothing approach. Everything has to be exactly perfect, otherwise you see it as a failure. And the minute you have a bump or something, because you can't spin all of those plates for too long, one of them is going to drop. The ball is going to drop, and then we sabotage ourselves and say that, oh well, we've failed now, we might as well just give up totally. Okay, it's like getting one puncture on your car and then slashing the other three wheels, because so many people take the all or nothing approach rather than what I'm proposing, which is to take one thing at a time, to stick with one thing until it becomes so natural that you can do it without even thinking about it. So natural and so automatic that you don't even realize you're doing it. Like if you take, for example, when you started driving, okay? When you started driving and you had that first lesson, it was like, oh my God, my hands have to be 10 to 2 and I've got to worry about what my feet are doing, which pedal is my foot on, and now I've got to change the gears and also look up at the windows to make sure that the instructor can see that I'm actually using my eyes and all the mirrors and mirror signal drive, etc. Like so many things are going on and your brain is just like, whoa, there's so much to think about all at once. Fast forward to now being the grand old age of 40, I don't think about any of those things now. When I drive, I get to where I need to be and I can't remember how I drove. I don't remember how many times I changed gears or which pedal I was putting my foot on, because over time it became automatic. I don't even have to think about driving. I just automatically do it because I took the lessons and I practiced. And just like with your lifestyle habits, it's exactly the same. If you practice them, if you are consistent with them, if you keep going until it becomes a habit, it will then become part of your life. So driving is now just part of my life. If I want to go somewhere and I need the car, I jump in, I drive, and I don't even have to think about how to drive, because it's not just that I know how to drive. Driving is now like it's a piece of software in my head that goes automatically. It just loads and plays, okay? Whereas if we look at doing something like changing your health and fitness, why don't we take the same approach? Why do we set ourselves up to fail every time by overhauling everything at once, or expecting to be able to drive the car in just a couple of weeks when it's actually taken months, if not years, to get to this point where I can drive automatically, where any of you can drive automatically, right? So stick to one thing and keep chipping away every single day. Like anything that, any kind of skill, because it is a skill, you can develop it. Any kind of behavior takes consistency, right? That's all it is. It's boring as hell to think that that is what it takes, but it's the truth. Like, you don't learn to drive overnight. It takes weeks, months, if not years, to actually learn to be a driver, okay? And it's the same with your lifestyle. It can take weeks, months, if not years, to become that person who has that particular health and fitness lifestyle, right? So you just have to keep chipping away. It's not exactly a case of you have to do it and practice it for 10,000 hours. However, you do have to put in lots and lots of effort, and if you have help along the way to keep you on track, then all the better. It's going to be a little bit, if not a lot, easier than if you try and do it yourself. So if you have struggled in the past with wanting to overhaul everything and it's never worked, maybe it's time to change tact and maybe get help. Get help from someone that is going to hold your hand, help you through the bumpy times when you want to just quit, when you don't feel like it, okay? Whether it's how much you're moving, whether it's your nutrition and making sure that you're eating better, making sure that you're doing the things that keep you strong and make you stronger rather than just skinnier. And then finally, making sure that we address your mindset. If you can get help with 1, 2, 3, if not 4 of those things, then you're going to feel better for it. You're going to feel you're going to feel healthier. You're going to feel fitter. You're going to feel happier and more confident in yourself, because over time that is going to build you into a different version of yourself, because you're now leading this different lifestyle. You're now the master of these different behaviors, and therefore the different ways that you now act compared to when you first started. It always comes back to this example of learning to drive. It's just learning to drive. That's all it is. You just have to keep going. Whereas if you stop learning to drive or changing your lifestyle, then you don't get any further. You don't get the benefits because you haven't taken those extra lessons. You haven't driven that car one more time. You haven't chipped away. It just takes time. It's like a big slab of rock that you get when you first start, and you get to chip away at it and mold it into whatever you want. Whatever you want. You want it to look a certain way, you can have it any way you like, as long as you're willing to put the effort in and pay the price, and the price is consistent effort and sticking to one thing. Make it super easy for you. This is how I coach all of our clients. We make things super easy or super simple even, to make sure that they stick to one thing and they ingrain it so that it becomes a habit, and then we can move on to the next thing. It's that. We make it that simple, okay? We make you do one thing for helping you move more. We make you do one thing for helping you with your nutrition and your mindset and your strength. That's it. One little thing, but that you do every single day so that it becomes a habit. So imagine Imagine how much different your life and the way you are, the way you feel, the way you look, the clothes you wear, the energy you have, all of those benefits. Imagine how much different it will feel if you've been doing one thing to change it every single day for the next year. Surely that's going to have much more of an impact than if you do some gimmicky, faddy diet club, drink, wrap, pill or something that you do for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. You don't learn to drive overnight. You don't change your lifestyle overnight. You change it by chipping away. So let's get on with chipping away by sticking to one thing at a time and sticking to it for the long term. Ask yourself, can you see yourself sticking to this thing that you're going to improve forever? Because if you can, then you're probably on the right track. If you can't, then it's probably not the right thing for you. Okay? Stick to one thing.